Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie. If you are new here, please do subscribe. So I recently bought the Sony A6600. I did an unboxing video which I will leave linked here if I remember. But I bought this camera to go travelling with because my old camera was a big Nikon D500 with a big 24-70 lens. It was just too big and heavy for travelling. So I invested in this new Sony, and whilst I was looking at lenses, I found the Tamron 17-70 f2.8, which I thought sounds amazing because it's such a wide focal range, 17 all the way to 70, and it's 2.8 at all different focal ranges all the way through. This is specifically designed for the Sony APSC cameras, so I thought I would do an unboxing and kind of show you how it looks and what comes in the box, my first impressions, all that good stuff. So this is how the box comes. So it's just a white box. It says Tamron. It's got all the information there. So if we open it up, I'm just going to open that bit there and this bit. And then it's got some paperwork. Cameras and lenses always have something like this. I never ever look at them, so I'm just going to pop that there. And then it comes like this. So if we... Wow, okay, that's quite big. That's bigger than I thought it was going to be. So there it is, that's my new travel setup. The Sony A6600 with the Tamron 17-70 2.8. So if we have a look at the lens, that's nice and big. It's got the lens sun thing, whatever you call it, the lens cap. I'm going to keep that on there to keep it protected. Now, my other Tamron lens had a lock where you could lock the focal range. This one doesn't, but it's moving quite smoothly. That feels quite smooth as well. It's quite plasticky, but it's not super heavy, which is, I'm quite happy about that. I feel like those together, it's going to be quite a good combination, although that lens looks huge on this camera. Okay, so let's do first impressions. So I literally only just opened this camera, so I still don't know how to use it. So it's kind of going to be a first impressions of the camera and the lens. But let's put it on there. So if we take this off and put this one on. I think you have to turn until you hear that little click. Okay, so let's turn it on. Wow, let's put it on aperture priority. I have no idea how to use this camera. Like I said, I literally just bought it. Oh. Okay, so I just took a little photograph of my camera that's filming me right there. So I'll be able to insert that. That's so nice and smooth and quiet though. Apparently the autofocus is good. I don't know if it has, yeah, it has touch screen, so I can touch to focus on things. Wow, okay. And then 17 is there, so it's not super wide actually. I thought it would be wider than that. I think it's going to be great for travelling. I thought it was going to be super wide though, which it isn't really considering. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. I think it looks big, but it's actually not that heavy, especially compared to what I had before. It's probably like a third of the weight or something. So I think that's going to be amazing. So first impressions, it's great. It does expand further out. You know how some lenses don't do that? That one does, which I think is fine. Yeah, super happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to play back with this over the next couple of days. I think I'll come back and give you kind of a first impressions talk and kind of talk to you about how I'm getting on with it, what I'm enjoying, what I'm not enjoying, all that good stuff. I'm also going to unbox a Sigma 30mm 1.4. I will leave that linked here if I've done that as well. This is going to be my kind of artsy lens, and this is going to be my kind of everyday travel lens. So I'm going to unbox this as well in the next video, so make sure you go ahead and watch that as well. So I'll be back in a couple of days to give you my impressions on this lens and kind of let you know how I'm getting on and what I think, good things, bad things, everything like that will be coming up very, very soon. So stay tuned for that and I'll be back in a moment. Hi, welcome back. So it has been about 3 weeks since I recorded the beginning of this video. Now I'm recording this part of the video on my phone just because my my Sony A6600 is over there. I've used that for other videos, but because I'm talking about the 17-70, I tried recording on my 70-180 and it was all the way zoomed into like here, so it was ridiculous. So I'm recording on my phone, so I'm sorry if the audio is not quite what you're used to with my channel, but it's just for this part of the video. So I really want to talk to you about the Tamron 17-70. Now I bought this around 3 weeks ago. It's been about 3 weeks since I did the beginning of the video, and I really wanted to give you some first impressions and kind of talk to you about the lens so far. Now first of all, I think it's a really great size. It's kind of smaller than my palm. It's not too heavy, it's actually pretty light considering, and I'm obsessed with it. I think it's brilliant. So it's 17-70 f2.8. It doesn't have a lock thing like some of the other Tamron lenses, so you can just, that's zoomed out, zoomed in. It's a little bit stiff, I would say, more stiff than the 70-180 at least. And then the focus ring is here. Something I will say is that it makes some noise, and I don't know if that's normal or not. I guess it's because of maybe the image stabilization or whatever, it's like some sort of mechanics inside. But if you kind of move it, you can hear it shaking. Now, I'm not going to shake it too much, I don't want to break it. But if I shake it here next to the mic, can you hear that? So you can sometimes hear it rattling in my bag if I'm not using it, or even sometimes when I'm using it, if I kind of move it around, you can kind of hear it moving. So I'm hoping that doesn't mean it's going to break easily, because if you, I don't know, if you're in a bumpy car in the middle of somewhere, and it's constantly doing this, is that going to break it? Because it's, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why it's noisy, but it is. But that's something to bear in mind when you buy this or when you use it. Otherwise, I absolutely love it. I love the 2.8. I love the focal range. I think it's just been so versatile. I have a couple of photographs and videos I want to show you just so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. My previous lens, by the way, I used to have the Nikon D500 with the 24-70, so having the 17 seems like a huge luxury. I can see way more than I'm used to, so I'm loving that. So I'll just show you these two videos. So the first one was filmed at 17mm. I was quite close to Jeremy's face and I filmed it at 2.8. I then went back, so I stepped further away and filmed his face at 70, 2.8. So I love the compression here. I love comparing the two together, and how you can kind of, you can see what a difference it makes. The more you zoom in, the more blurry the background is. I talk about this a little bit as well in my other video where I talk about my 70-180. I'll leave that linked below if it's not out yet. I think that was the video coming next. So something I like about this lens as well is that because it's 17, it's quite wide, but then with 70 you can zoom quite far in as well. So this has been stuck to my camera since I got it. I've used my 70-180 a few times. Again, I talked about that in that video, so go ahead and watch that if you want to. The 70-180 is definitely something that's more specific, and you know, you definitely have to want to use that lens, whereas this lens is something you can stick on your camera and use it all the time. The f2.8 is brilliant for everything, all types of different photography. So this is great for traveling, for portraits, for food, for anything really. I think this is a really great lens. I absolutely love it. It's not too heavy, it's not too big, it's not too expensive either. It's reasonably priced. I think it's about $700, $800. Really amazing lens. Absolutely love it. If I show you a couple of the other photographs that I have. So this one I took of Jeremy at 17. I then zoomed in and took this one at 70. Again, you can see kind of how wide it is, but then also how zoomed in it is as well, and also the bokeh in the background and all that good stuff. What else have I got here? A couple of pictures of buildings. This one as well I really enjoy. So it's Jeremy was at 70, so Jeremy was stood somewhere. I took a photograph at 17, I then stepped back, and then another one at 70, I believe. And I love the fact that you can see the background changing, and you can see how at 17 everything's kind of in focus, pretty much, whereas then at 70 the background's a lot more blurred out. Even though he's in the same place, the background seems a lot closer to him, a lot more blurred out. So I really enjoyed experimenting with that. I feel like 17 to 70 is good enough to get a photograph of a building full length like this, but then also zoomed in like this, so you can see, you know, you can really get a good range of photographs. You can get wide angle, you can get wide shots, but you can also get really zoomed in shots as well. So love that. I also went out and took some photographs at night time. I really wanted to test the nighttime capabilities, the bokeh, things like that. I will say I was pretty impressed. So I took this photograph here of the Publix sign. I focused purposely on the wall to see how the Publix sign would fare in terms of the bokeh and the lighting and things like that. I think it did a really good job. I then took the reverse of that, so the Publix sign was in focus. I wanted to see how the wall would look. Again, I think it's great. This photograph I personally like, but I know a lot of people would have a problem with this. So this was taken at night time, obviously. I focused on the pole. It took a little minute for my camera, to focus on the pole. It was kind of doing that thing where it's struggling to focus, but it was obviously nighttime, it was dark. And I think behind there was an ambulance or a fire station, fire truck or something with lots of lights on it. And as you can see in the bokeh, there's lots of circles. They're quite busy circles, and I don't mind that personally, but I know that a lot of people don't like that look in particular. They want it to be very smooth and creamy. I didn't get that with this photograph, but I have gotten that with other photographs. So something just to note, honestly. For me, it's not an issue. I know that for the people that might be. Again, a photograph of Jeremy here. The background is a little noisy. The bokeh is a little bit noisy. There's circles within the circles. So that is something to bear in mind if that's not something you're happy putting up with. For me, I honestly don't mind. I like it either way. So yeah, I'm going to also place some of the photographs on a screen of photographs that I've taken recently since being in France, so that you can see those, either, probably both sides actually, so you can see. Yeah, generally I really like this lens. I am so happy. It works so amazingly with the Sony a6600. I'd recommend it for any of the crop sensor cameras. I just think it's such a good all-rounder. Honestly, I cannot tell you how good I think it is. I just think it's well worth the money, especially for if you just want one lens. If you just want one camera, one lens, this is incredible. You can get everything from, you know, wide angles of buildings right the way zoomed in for amazing portraits. So it's such a really good, versatile lens, and I am so impressed, so happy, and would highly recommend it if you're in the market for a new camera and a new lens. So that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up down below. Make sure you subscribe for more videos, and I will see you very soon for my next video. Bye!